Happiness from the carpenter's office. I know many of you may have expected to see me coming from the boot studio. I just did that short video over there showing some of the setup of the shelf with some very fancy boots up there. But the carpentress over here has commandeered the boot studio room back, at least for the holidays, as a guest room. So that will continue to happen and be in progress, and hopefully uh, after the first of the year, I'll be coming to you from the boot studio. Sorry that I missed you in Mexico. Was super busy down there. I got about 17 pairs of boots down there I want to show you, but we were just busy running around doing stuff and only had a few weeks down there. So here I am back in California in the carpenter's office, and many of you know that my favorite color is green, and today I got some green boots. This is kind of brought on by the release of a new Red Wing mock toe in Alpine Portage leather. But we're going to go back and talk about some of the history of these green or kangaroo leather original type of boots that led all the way up to this cow leather um, Red Wing mock toe. It all started, I think, back in the 50s, and Red Wing came out with something called the Irish Setter Sport Boot, the 888. This is a pair I got from 1970. It originally came with a black, had a little bit of a heel, maybe not as big as that one, but an all rubber heel like a black lug sole. This one I had um, like a full Dr. Soul sole put on there. It had a welt. It was not just a cup sole or a pressed on sole like so many boots are. And I want you to notice also that on this kangaroo leather, these are kangaroo leather, the top is like a smoother leather, and then the bottom, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of pebbled. I don't know if they did that on purpose. It's taking the patina a little bit different. But the kangaroo leather is a sturdier leather than cow leather. It's a little bit stronger, and so they can use a little bit thinner leather and make the boot a little bit lighter. Um, they originally came, or they were coming, I think back in the 50s and 60s. I think many of you might have seen in another video these boxes that I have, and I got them from a gentleman on Instagram called Damn Good Gear, beautiful young guy Philip, and he deals in boots and Red Wing boots and Red Wing paraphernalia, memorabilia, and Americana type items. And so I've gotten a few of these boxes. Here is my other pair of 888s that I have. I got the boxes from Damn Good Gear. I got the boots, I think, probably on eBay or something. This one, my friend at Northern Nevada Village Shoe Repair in Reno put these Vibram lime green camo soles on for me. These are in a little bit of better shape. These are 1972 model. Those are lime green leather laces that I got in there. Um, and he added a natural welt on there, which I really like. Um, the guy used the same welt. It seems like it's a plastic black welt. He tried to hit the same holes, and uh, the mistake that I made with these when I had them resold is these ones have D rings. I don't know if you know what D rings are. It's like the eyelet hole, but instead of an eyelet hole, it's a rivet with a ring kind of swiveling off of that. Now, the convenient and the nice thing about D-rings is when you unlace your shoe, it just kind of releases, and it's really easy to slip your shoe back off. I like the speed hooks, so I had speed hooks and eyelets put on, and these boots were so old that the first couple times that I wore them, I think it happened to me twice, I laced them up and it just started popping the eyelets and the speed hooks out, just a few of them, but I had to send them back, I think twice. And the gentleman lined these boots with some leather on the inside of the eyelets just to reinforce it and then put them back in. So that worked out for me. But these are the Red Wing 888s. Red Wing Irish Setter. They came, in this case, it says Red Wing Shoes Irish Setter Sport Boots. They came in this case, and they came with some Red Wing conditioner and actually some socks. I think green socks came in this case in the late 50s, mid to late 50s, early 60s, and I got a couple of those. The other one you might have seen, I showed it off. It's got some leather tooling on the top, like a cowboy and stuff like that. It's super cool. Um, what they were doing, Red Wing, I think, was making boots for some other companies at the time. I know, like Red Wing, Thorogood, Weinbrenner is Thorogood. A lot of them did army boots or different things at different times. And I researched and found that Red Wing was making some boots for Sears. And I have a pair here. These are 1977. There was a wonderful, amazing athlete named Ted Williams, a Major League Baseball player. He was just such an awesome historical baseball figure. And he was, working for or being having the endorsement of Sears and endorsing Sears sports product, a lot of hunting and fishing products, I think. And so these are the Ted Williams Sears sport boots. There's that Sears tag there that says Sears Ted Williams with like a check mark. I don't know if I showed you that very well. If you can see it, I don't know. But these have a cup sole. And a cup sole is a sole that's kind of just pressed and glued onto the boot. A lot of work boots have that. It's not really great because if you have a cheap boot and the sole goes away, you pretty much throw it away without a welt. So they would have to peel this cup sole off of here and then stitch a welt onto the boot, which is not, it's much more expensive than a regular resole. So there's also a company that I've seen very, very similar boots of these called Browning. And it's a shotgun and a rifle manufacturing company. And they have, I don't know, but I suspect that Red Wing was making those boots. And my neighbor, AVFJ40 on Instagram, the woodworker, I gave him a pair of boots that were very similar to these. And they're Red Wings, I think, from the late 80s, early 90s. And they also have the cup sole. And so, you see, this has a little bit of a heel. These ones came with a lug sole. That's not, it's kind of a lug sole, but it's kind of a really light, call it cushion crepe lug sole. This one was a heavier lug, but, to get these resold, I'm a carpenter, remodel your boots. To get your boots resold, it's a little bit more for these. These, as a matter of fact, I have for sale. They're 10.5D. And as you know, may or may not know, I've been trying to not buy more boots, but that's why I'm here, because I bought more boots and I wanted to show off what I had versus what I bought. So then, 1970, 1972, 1977. Oh, I wanted to show you in these ones. I have some people are asking about shoe and boot trees all the time. I have some. These are made by a company called Woodlore. They actually make boot trees that go all the way up to here. They're like $50-something. I think Woodlore, this company, is the most affordable ones. But you know what I was doing? Here's a little, they call these hacks. Those tubes, like those spaghetti tubes like people play in the water with in your pool? It's hollow in the middle. It kind of looks like a piece of pipe insulation. Some of my boots, I just cut little sections of those with scissors or with a knife, and I just slide them in there. And man, that was like from the dollar store versus $60, $50-something plus tax on these. So that's something you might try. If I really only use them when the toe box area is starting to collapse, or I got some weird wrinkles around here that I want to just not have the toe box area just collapse and accentuate wrinkles on the top of the boot. So that's why I put those in there when I start getting that toe box collapse. So what I have and what I really like, I got these a while ago. These are 8180s, and they are from 2015. Sometime in the 2000s, they kind of made a Red Wing mock toe kind of in the order or to commemorate the 888s, the 8180. This, I thought for a long time it was kangaroo leather because it's called Kangatan Portage. It is cow leather. Kangatan Portage, and it is a beautiful green, army green type of color, dark green color, which I really, really like. And I a lot of the guys talk about in some of the Facebook groups about hot spots or break-in or pain. Again, as I always tell you, as construction workers, we're constantly in pain. When we get new boots, we get our old worn out boots, throw them in the pickup truck, and because for me it takes probably almost 3 months of daily wear to get a pair of boots broken in like your baseball glove to where you really love them, and then you may have 3 or 4 months left after that before you got to get them resold or whatever, but that's how long it takes to break in the upper. So I got these used. You see they're not very bad. These are really in high demand and super expensive on eBay now. But you get used boots, and some of you may not like it. I have explained before, I Lysol them. I wrap blue tape around my hand, like one of those clothes roller things, but on my hand, and I go in and there's pet hair and everything, get all that, get your hand in there and clean it out, throw that away, Lysol it again, and I clean the sole, I clean everything. But you can get a pair of used boots for a lot cheaper, and the break-in's already done if you're not a break-in guy. So there's another little tip for you there. So what ended up happening is these came out, and these are the 8828s in Alpine Portage. They are still on the Red Wing website. I think they're $329 or something. I saw them on the secondary market on eBay. They're brand new. I just put the laces in right now. Just first took them out of the box, and I got them, I think, $40 less than that Red Wing retail, with smaller amount of sales tax, and I paid shipping. I ended up saving $40 or $50, and I really super like them. They are the Traction Tread sole in a black, and with that natural welt, it looks really cool. So, okay, here is the 8180 versus the 8828. Okay, these are shinier. I use, same as Brian the Bootmaker, I use a El Oso neutral shoe polish. It's from Mexico. You can't get it in the stores here. You might be able to order it online. El Oso means the bear, O-S-O. And Brian the Bootmaker uses it. I use it. I put it on different colors because I don't really want to, you put a dark color like a dark cream, and then you cover up the white laces on here. And so if you notice, the white threads. If you notice, this one has white thread on the stitching on the toe. This one is kind of yellowish or greenish. I don't know. It's not white. And then on the Puritan triple stitch right here, this one has 2 blacks and a white in the middle on the triple stitch, and this one is all black. And so the stitching is slightly different. These have chrome silver looking eyes. These have like an antique looking eyes. Cool boots. I love green. So many of you also know, if you listen to my philosophy or my introduction videos or follow through to the end of a lot of these boot videos, that I'm the happiness carpenter. I have this philosophy about happiness. And myself personally, I tend to wake up in the morning feeling a little bit depressed, a little bit apprehensive about the future, and I kind of psych myself. I ask myself, what do you want to be, John? You want to be happy? And absolutely I want to be happy, but happiness does not come from the right partner, from the coolest car, the biggest house, the best job, zeros on your bank account. None of those things bring happiness. Happiness is an internal decision. And you know what it really comes from is, it comes from a feeling of self-worth and self-love. And I'm not talking about a selfishness when I'm talking about this kind of self-love. I'm talking about a respect for who you are. Okay, we all kind of gripe and go on and on about so-and-so did this, the other guy did that. And we're really talking about things that we don't respect about other people when we gripe like this. But, we need to reflect and look back on ourselves, and are we the type of person that we can respect? Are we the type of person that we can admire? Are we the type of person that we would like to spend time with? So I want to today give you some inspiration and ask you, does your life have meaning? If you were to die today, does your life have meaning? Because, one thing that makes the happiness carpenter sad is when people get to the end of their life and they're alone and nobody loves them. And I see this all the time. The older that you get, some of you young people haven't experienced this, and some of you older people are older than me know exactly what I'm talking about. Your world keeps getting smaller, smaller, smaller the older you get, because people just die. I'm the youngest sibling in my family. My parents had me when they were in their 30s. On my mother's side, I'm the youngest grandchild out of 15. On my father's, I think I'm the second from the youngest on my father's side. And, people just pass away and they go away. And, I just pray they have the hope of heaven or some kind of afterlife or some kind of faith or belief that they're going towards. But so many people are empty. So many people do not think about the future day to day. They don't think about the end. And so my father was at his end about 5 years ago. And he passed, and he went to go where he belongs. And he believed that it was a place of light and not a place of just blackness and the end. And so I was there the day he died, and I left, and then my sister, it was nighttime, and my big sister was there with him, and she was singing to him and holding his hand and praying with him. And I may get this paraphrase slightly wrong, but at one point he just looked at her and said, "Tell him that it's love," and exhaled and passed away. And so maybe that's for you. Hey, it's love, brothers and sisters. It's love. And so my dad was he was born in a very humble situation, worked in the fields, past the point where he should have been in school for 3 or 4 years, and ended up being very good in school, getting a scholarship to UC Berkeley, being highly respected in the state of California as one of the senior school administrators, having homes and family members and love and honor and respect and all these things he had. But at the very end, all he thought about was he loves people and people love him. It's love. It's love. That's what he said. I'm telling you, it's love. We all watch movies, a lot of us. If you're watching YouTube, I'm sure you watch movies as well. And so we have these movies. Movies have heroes. Yeah, I'm an action adventure guy. I'm that kind of guy, your normal guy, and you have these movies, Superman or Batman. I don't really understand as an older person why they have to have emotional problems, why they just can't be these clean heroes like they were back in the day when I was a little kid. But maybe that's more true because everyone has issues. But if you go beyond the action movies, which I like, and lots of times I like dramas. I'm a historical minded guy, and dramas more or less portray ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances. And we're all just ordinary people, most of us, most of you watching me. And, by the third or fourth generation, nobody's going to know your name. Nothing about you. I mean, I'm a very, very historically minded cat, and I could pull out the names of my great-grandparents, some of them, but not my great-great-grandparents. So 3 or 4 generations, that's it. I mean, no one's going to even remember you. What kind of legacy are you going to leave? What's the purpose of your life? What's the meaning of your life? Are you going to leave some meaning in this world? Or are you just going to be like a lot of Americans here and just consume and just care about yourself? Is that the kind of person you want to be? Maybe you should think about more spiritual things or more meaning and more purpose in your life. And so many of us, many of you know that I live also in Mexico, and one of the things I like about Mexico and about some of the other countries besides the United States, I know in the United States we have so much here, and we just have so much. We have safety and security in our justice system, and everybody has, many people have what they need here, more than other countries. But some of these other countries, we may think they're behind us in many ways, but they have some of our old traditional ways. And Mexico is one of those places, and When I go there, it's like everybody loves Jesus. Not everybody, but most people love Jesus. Most people love their families. Most people reach out to other people, their neighbors, and see if there's a need. I know that people are more conversational. People I just meet on the street that I don't even know, man, it seems like they care. I have a nice conversation with people. My terrible Spanish. And so I think, and what I'm suggesting is that when we have so much and our lives are so busy, we lose sight of the reality of life. And so there may be better things or more things to life than just achieving, because happiness isn't going to come from the right partner, from the right most zeros on your bank account, any of those things. It's an internal thing, like we spoke about. And in those movies and those dramas, what happens? What happens? Somebody reaches out, maybe it's a neighborhood child, maybe it's a sick person, maybe it's somebody that's needy. Maybe somebody reaches out to an old person that's a shut-in in their house, and they go beyond their comfort zone, and it becomes very meaningful, and the person with a need gets their needs met, they're saved, or their needs are met, and then the person that is reaching out gets to have a good feeling inside, and a feeling of accomplishment and of purpose and meaning to their life. And so we get all misty-eyed. If you're not a crier, you feel a little emotional or strong emotions. And so these deeds that we do in life are going to go unnoticed, and who cares if they are, if it makes us feel better. So what I'm asking you today is to bring meaning to your life. Don't get to the end of your life and not have love. You know, I'm happy because I love people and people love me. I am not talking about, and I talked to you about this before, reaching out to family members. Family is so important. But reaching out to people, maybe family members or friends from the past that have hurt you and that you have anger towards, you have frustration and you have feelings of violence. If you can't get over that, you need to put that aside. But there may be other people in your life that need you, that you don't even know about at this point, that need you, that you can reach out to, and you can find meaning in your life by being there for other people. And when you're at the end, don't just think, wow, I just gratified all my needs and I'm alone now and I'm dying alone. I don't want that for you. I want you to have love. I want you to have family, even if it's just an association of friends that feels like family. I want that for you. And so I can't do it for you. You need to step out. You need to step out in faith. You need to step beyond your comfort zone and reach out to people that you know are safe, that you can help, and see what happens. I think it might bring some meaning to your life. So, in this day, maybe you can have some cool boots, and maybe you can have a purpose-filled, meaningful life. Happiness and love from the Carpenter's Office.